Hi, Assalamualaikum and a very good day. So, welcome to our new PDPR session. Okay, fasa PDPR yang seterusnya selepas PDPR yang sebelum ni. So, you all semua dah cuti seminggu kan? So, hopefully semua dah bersemangat untuk teruskan lagi PDPR kita pada kali ni. Alright? So, untuk PDPR kali ni, okay, for this PDPR session, we will continue about chapter 5. Okay, which is thermochemistry. Okay, in this chapter, we have only one subtopic, which is 5.1 Endothermic and Exothermic reactions. Okay, so let us look what you will be learning throughout this chapter. Okay, so at the end of this topic, you will be able to... Okay, the first one is to define what is actually endothermic reactions and also exothermic reactions. Okay, the first one is to relate heat absorbed or released in a chemical reaction to endothermic and exothermic reaction. Okay, so you can relate either heat absorbed or heat release is defined as endothermic or exothermic reactions. Okay. The third one is to observe the experiment to compare and contrast endothermic and exothermic reaction. Okay, for this third learning objective, so since we are not in school, so I have prepared a video for all of you to observe the experiment that I have conducted in the lab. Okay, so that experiment will show you the difference in terms of the observation between endothermic and also exothermic reactions. Alright. Okay, and the last one is to explain with examples the exothermic and endothermic reactions. Okay, let's start. Alright, so look at this photograph here, the figure here. Okay, when sodium is added to water, okay, so this is sodium, okay, and then you put it inside a container of water, so the chemical reaction occurs, okay, as shown in the figure. Alright, so can you name 3 forms of energy that are released in this chemical reaction? Okay, so you can observe from here and you can see there are 3 forms of energy. So the first one is the light energy, okay, tenaga cahaya, and then you have heat energy, of course. When you produce fire, okay, it will causes heat, okay, heat energy to be released. And also sound energy, okay. So when you add the sodium into the water, it will produce hissing sound, alright. So what form of energy is released or absorbed in most chemical reactions? Okay, since we know just now there are 3 forms of energy, which are light energy, heat energy, and also sound energy. But for most of the chemical reactions, there is only one energy that you can observe. Okay, the easiest energy that you can observe, which is the heat energy. Okay. So, this condition of releasing heat energy or absorbing heat energy will determine the type of chemical reactions. Okay, whether it is endothermic reaction or exothermic reaction. Okay. Alright, so let's look at this science info. Okay. So, the prefix exo originates from the Greek word which means outside. Okay. Keluar, while the suffix thermic originates from the Greek word which means heat. Okay, thermic means haba lah. Okay, the prefix endo, endo pula originates from the Greek words which means inside. Okay, ke dalam. Okay, kalau tadi kita ada exo means keluar. Okay, haba keluar. Kalau endo means haba masuk ke dalam. Alright. So, next one is, okay, so how can we identify whether the reaction shown in the photograph here is an exothermic reaction or endothermic reaction? Okay, so we detect the changes in temperature of the water in the container. Okay, so this water is actually act as the surrounding. Okay, if there is a chemical reaction occur here, so we will observe what happened to the water temperature. Okay, we detect the changes in the temperature of the water. Okay, there are two conditions here. Okay, two possibilities. First, if the water becomes hot, okay, air jadi panas, so the chemical reaction is an exothermic reaction. Okay, so sekiranya air menjadi panas, maksudnya chemical reaction tadi mengeluarkan haba. Okay, mengeluarkan haba ke mana? Dari bahan kepada surrounding. Okay, to the surrounding. So, we call it as exothermic reaction. Okay, but if the water becomes cold, okay, air jadi sejuk, so the chemical reaction is an endothermic reaction. Okay, macam kita tengok tadi tu. So, endo means ke dalam. Okay, so bermaksud haba diserap daripada surrounding ke chemical reaction tadi tu. Okay, so when the heat is absorbed from the surrounding, so the temperature of the water will become less. Okay, will become lower. Alright, so that is the way how we detect which chemical reaction is endothermic or exothermic reaction. Okay, so since we the only way is to detect the change in temperature, can you name one measuring device that is suitable for determining exothermic and endothermic reaction? Okay, good. So I think all of you have guessed the correct answer, which is thermometer. Okay, so we can easily detect the rise or the drop of the reading of the thermometer. So what does it mean by the rise in the reading or the drop in the reading of thermometer? Okay, the first one, a rise in the reading of thermometer shows that heat is released into the surrounding. Okay, so heat is released from the chemical reaction to the surrounding, causing the thermometer to show the rise in the reading, meaning that the water becomes hotter. So this is an exothermic reaction. Okay, exothermic means the heat is released to the surrounding. Okay, for if let's say there's a drop in the reading of thermometer, so this shows that heat is absorbed from the surrounding to the chemical reaction. So this is an endothermic reaction. Okay, so ingat balik tadi, endothermic means absorb. Okay, from the outside to inside. Okay, ke dalam. Alright. Okay, next, we will look at the examples of exothermic and endothermic reactions in our daily life. Okay, if you have understand about the concept of heat absorb or heat release, you will definitely be able to identify which situation is categorized as exothermic reactions and which one is endothermic reaction. Okay, let us look at these several examples here. So first we have fireworks display, cake baking, okay, the use of instant cold pack and also instant hot pack. Okay, so which one do you think is endothermic reaction and which one is exothermic reaction? Yang mana? Okay, so first we look at the fireworks display and also cake baking. Okay, when fireworks are lit, right, dinyalakan, so the chemical reaction occurred will change the chemical energy stored in the fireworks to light, sound and also heat energy. Okay, so at first, the fireworks have chemical energy inside it. So when we lit the fireworks, it will change the energy into light, sound and also heat energy. So means that it will release the heat energy to the surrounding. Alright, so since it releases heat to the surrounding, it is an exothermic reaction. Alright. Okay, look at the second one. During the cake baking, okay, the baking powder reacts with acid to produce carbon dioxide gas. Okay, this gas is actually trapped in the cake batter. Okay, adunan kek tu kan. So, ada gas carbon dioksida yang terperangkap. So, the absorption of heat from the oven to the cake, okay, to the cake batter, expands the carbon dioxide gas bubble and raises the cake batter. Alright, then forms a soft and fluffy texture of the cake. Sampailah cake tu mengembang. So, the keyword here is absorption of heat from oven to the cake. Okay, so since it absorbs heat from surrounding to the chemical reaction, so it is very good. It is endothermic reaction. Okay, so you can observe the keyword here and describe what happened to the process. Then only you can categorize the process into exothermic and also endothermic reaction. Okay, let's look at the other two examples. Okay, so here we have instant cold pack and also instant hot pack. Okay, first we look at the instant cold packs. Okay, inside the instant cold pack, actually we have ammonium nitrate salts. Okay, these are the chemical substances that are often used. Okay, selalunya digunakan. Okay, kenapa kita gunakan ammonium nitrate salts? Okay, garam ammonium nitrate. Okay, because ammonium salts, okay, will absorb the heat from the skin when reacting with sweat on the surface of the skin. Okay, so ammonium salts ni actually dia boleh menyerap haba daripada kulit kita. Okay, when reacting with sweat. Okay, bila dia bertindak balas dengan peluh dekat permukaan kulit. Okay, so you can look here. There is the keyword absorb heat. So meaning that the use of instant cold pack is an example of endothermic reactions. Okay, which absorb heat from the surrounding to the substances, kepada bahan tu. Okay, while okay, for hot packs contain water and also dry calcium chloride. Okay, which are both located in separate section. Okay, dua bahagian yang berbeza dalam tu. But when pressed, okay, bila kita tekan, so the thin membrane between the two section will break. Okay, ada lapisan membrane yang nipis, okay, yang akan terpecah dan menyebabkan kedua-dua bahan tu bercampur. Okay, so what happen if the two sections break? Okay, the dry calcium chloride will then dissolve in the water and releases heat. Okay, bila calcium chloride dissolve, okay, larut dalam air, so dia akan membebaskan haba. Okay, so sama juga macam tadi. So you look here, we have releases heat. Okay, since it releases heat, so dia akan keluarkan haba daripada chemical substance to the surrounding. So that's why you will feel hot, okay, from the outside of the pack. Alright, so ada kegunaan tertentu untuk hot packs ni, okay, which later will be explained from the other video. Alright. Okay, so we have looked at all of the learning objectives. Okay, try tengok balik. So the first one, you are able to define endothermic and exothermic reactions. Okay, yang mana satu tindak balas kimia yang membebaskan haba dan juga menyerap haba. And then relate heat absorb or release in a chemical reaction to endothermic and exothermic reactions. Okay, so selepas you all dah berjaya categorizekan yang mana tindak balas kimia yang membebaskan haba ataupun menyerap haba, so you all boleh tahu yang mana satu ialah tindak balas endothermic, yang mana satu ialah exothermic. Okay, since you all dah tengok tadi kan, so banyak contoh-contoh dalam kehidupan seharian kita. Okay, all of the situations in our daily life shows that for endothermic reactions, the heat will be absorbed from the surrounding to the chemical substance, okay, causing the temperature of the surrounding to become less. All right. While for exothermic reaction, so the heat will be released from the chemical substance to the surrounding. So if the heat is released, okay, definitely the temperature of surrounding will become higher. Alright, bacaan thermometer tu akan jadi bertambah. Okay, the third one is to observe the experiment to compare and contrast between endothermic and exothermic reactions. Okay, yang ni teacher akan provide video lagi satu untuk you all. Perhatikan apa yang akan terjadi kepada beberapa jenis tindak balas. Alright, so sama juga, you will be observing what happened to the reading of the thermometer. Then you can conclude which situation is endothermic reaction and which one is exothermic reaction. And the last one is explain with examples the exothermic and endothermic reaction. Okay, so since you have understand about the definition of endothermic and exothermic reaction, now you can categorize all of the reactions into exothermic and also endothermic reactions. Alright. Okay, so to test your understanding, so first I want all of you to watch the video, okay, for experiment 5.1, and from the video you will be preparing a report for experiment 5.1. Okay, you can refer to page 149. Alright, and the second one is answer the summative practice 5, and we will discuss the answers in class, okay, afterwards. Alright. Okay, so that's all from me for today. Okay, I hope that you can remember about the definition of exothermic and endothermic reaction. Okay, very simple, very easy to understand. Okay, endo means inside. Okay, means the heat is absorbed from the surrounding to the chemical substance. And then exothermic means outside. Okay, keluar, means that heat is released from the chemical reaction to the surrounding. If let's say we put the chemical substance inside water, so water is actually the surrounding. Okay, so to determine whether it's exothermic reaction or endothermic reaction, we measure the temperature of the water. Okay, so hopefully all of you can understand and apply it to categorize which situation, which chemical reaction is endothermic reaction and also exothermic reactions. Okay, so see you in the next video. Bye. Assalamualaikum.